Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we explore the fascinating world of coins, their hidden history, their artistic design, their value, and everything in between. Today we are diving deep into one of the most iconic coins in American history, the Washington Quarter, and more specifically, the 1988 Washington Quarter. This coin might seem ordinary at first glance, but its history, production, and relevance in the numismatic world make it an intriguing piece for collectors and historians alike. The Washington Quarter series has a rich legacy that stretches back to the early 1930s, introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The design was chosen through a competition, and ultimately sculptor John Flanagan's portrait of Washington was selected for the obverse. This image of Washington is based on a bust created by Jean-Antoine Houdon in 1786, a sculpture known for capturing Washington's true likeness. In its inception, the quarter had a dual purpose. It was both a circulating coin and a tribute to national heritage. The Washington Quarter began its journey made of 90% silver and 10% copper from 1932 through 1964. However, due to rising silver prices and changes in economic policy, the U.S. Mint transitioned to a clad composition in 1965. This new composition featured a core of pure copper sandwiched between two layers of copper-nickel alloy, creating the modern clad coin that is still in use today. By the time we reached the year 1988, the Washington Quarter had been in circulation for over 5 decades. The 1988 Washington Quarter is part of what collectors often refer to as the pre-statehood quarters era, running from 1965 until 1998, which was just before. The 50-state quarters program began in 1999. These quarters were minted for regular circulation and feature John Flanagan's design on the obverse, and an eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse, a symbol of strength and freedom. The 1988 quarters were minted at 3 different locations: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and a limited number as proof coins at the San Francisco Mint. The Philadelphia coins are marked with a P, the Denver with a D, and the San Francisco proof coins with an S. It is important to note that proof coins were not intended for circulation, but rather for collectors, and are struck with specially polished dies that give them a mirror-like appearance. In 1988, the U.S. Mint produced over 1 billion Washington quarters, which included 562 million coins from the Philadelphia Mint and about 596 million from the Denver Mint, making this one of the higher mintage years. However, while the 1988 quarter might not be rare in general circulation, there are specific errors and varieties that collectors look for and which can significantly increase the coin's value. These include doubled dies off-center strikes, die cracks, and coins that have been struck on the wrong planche. Some examples of valuable error coins from 1988 include the doubled die obverse, where the lettering, and sometimes Washington's features, are noticeably doubled. These can be spotted with the naked eye or a magnifier and can command higher prices based on the intensity of the doubling. Off-center strikes can also be valuable, especially if a significant portion of the design is missing while still displaying the date and mint mark. Another key aspect of the 1988 Washington Quarter is its metal composition and how that affects long-term preservation and grading. As a clad coin with a copper core and nickel outer layer, it is susceptible to environmental damage, such as toning corrosion and edge wear. Coins that remain in high grades, especially those graded mint state by grading agencies like PCGS or NGC, are of significant interest to collectors. A 1988 quarter-graded MS-67 or higher is quite rare and can be worth significantly more than face value due to its exceptional condition and eye appeal. Beyond the physical aspects of the coin, the 1988 Washington Quarter also holds a place in the broader narrative of American coinage during the Reagan era. The 1980s in America were marked by significant economic changes, a rise in conservative policies, and renewed patriotic sentiment. The Washington quarter continued to serve as a symbol of national pride during this time, quietly facilitating commerce and reflecting the enduring legacy of the nation's first president. In the wider context of numismatics, the 1988 quarter is part of a transitional period leading up to the most ambitious quarter program in U.S. history, the 50-state quarters program. The introduction of state-specific designs in 1999 marked a major shift in public engagement with coin collecting, bringing millions of new hobbyists into the fold. But even before that, the coins from the late 1980s represent the end of an era, the final chapter in the long-standing Flanagan design before the series experienced a historic transformation. Collectors who focus on this period often seek out high-grade examples of each year in the series, including 1988 in both P and D mint marks, and occasionally the S-proof coins. These are often assembled into complete sets to reflect a time capsule of American coinage just before the explosion of commemorative designs. In terms of international coinage and comparison, the Washington quarter has often been admired for its clean, balanced design and its longevity. Very few coin designs remain unchanged for over 65 years. The image of George Washington, stern yet composed, and the proud eagle on the reverse created a visual identity that was unmistakably American. For new collectors, the 1988 Washington quarter is often a starting point, an easy-to-find coin that introduces them to the intricacies of mint marks, errors, grading, and numismatic history. For seasoned collectors, it may be a coin they pass over unless in pristine condition or with a notable error. But that does not diminish its importance in the overall history of U.S. currency and design. Finally, the Washington quarter, including the 1988 version, remains a key example of how coinage reflects more than just economic utility. It represents artistry, national values, and the evolving identity of a country. From its historical roots in the 1930s to its widespread circulation in the 1980s, this coin tells a story that spans generations and continues to capture the interest of collectors and historians alike. So whether you're a beginner looking to understand more about what's in your pocket, change, or a seasoned collector hunting for mint state examples or rare varieties, the 1988 Washington quarter has a story worth telling and preserving for years to come. And cultural importance that reaches back through the centuries and echoes the evolution of the United Kingdom's coinage systems, monetary reforms, and royal symbolism. The 1999 2-pence coin is part of the British decimal coinage system, which was officially introduced on February 15, 1971, a change that revolutionized the British currency and marked the end of the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence. The decimal system was designed to simplify the understanding and use of British money, and the 2-pence coin played a vital role in that structure, representing 1/50th of a pound. Now, to understand the significance of the 1999 2-pence coin, we must step back into the early history of British coinage. The idea of a 2-penny piece can trace its roots to pre-decimal times, although there was no direct equivalent. Back then, coins like the 2-pence and the halfpenny helped form the monetary units used in daily life for centuries, and with the decimalization process, the Royal Mint introduced new coins that matched the metric logic of base 10 counting. The 2-pence coin was first minted in 1971, and the reverse design chosen for it featured the badge of the Prince of Wales, an emblem consisting of a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, and with a ribbon bearing the motto Ich diene, which is German for I serve. This symbol has deep royal significance and represents the investiture of the Prince of Wales, a title traditionally granted to the heir apparent of the British throne in heraldic and historical traditions. The use of this badge on the coin reflects the connection between the monarchy and the nation. The coin was originally struck in bronze and remained that way until 1992, when the Royal Mint changed its composition to copper-plated steel as a cost-saving measure due to the rising prices of base metals. So by the time the 1999 2-pence coins were minted, They were already made from the new composition. Although they retained the same diameter, weight, and general appearance, the difference can be detected with a magnet, since the copper-plated steel coins are magnetic, whereas the earlier bronze versions are not. Turning our attention to the obverse or head side of the coin, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II is a defining feature of all British coins since her coronation, and the 1999 2-pence coin bears the third definitive portrait of the Queen, which was created by Raphael Maklouf and introduced in 1985. This image portrays the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, a crown adorned with diamonds and worn during the state opening of Parliament. The portrait is designed to show the Queen as a dignified and enduring symbol of British sovereignty and was used on circulating coins until the introduction of a new effigy in 1998 by Ian Rank Broadley, although some 1999 2-pence coins still bore the Maklouf portrait due to transitional minting periods. Now let us examine the production details and mintage of the 1999 2-pence coin. According to Royal Mint records, this coin was produced in substantial quantities for general circulation, with hundreds of millions of pieces struck to meet the demands of commerce and everyday use. It is not considered a rare date in terms of mintage, but that does not mean it lacks value or interest, especially to collectors who seek coins in exceptional uncirculated condition or who focus on error coins, varieties, and minting anomalies. Indeed, one of the most fascinating aspects of coin collecting is the hunt for errors and varieties, and the 1999 2-pence coin has its share of intriguing cases. Collectors have reported examples, with off-center strikes, die cracks, planche flaws, and even coins struck on foreign planches or with misaligned dies. These anomalies, although relatively rare, can significantly increase the interest and value of a particular piece, especially if they are certified by a grading authority such as NGC or PCGS. In terms of cultural significance, the 2-pence coin is more than just pocket change in the United Kingdom. It is a symbol of stability, continuity, and tradition. It is used in countless transactions every day, yet its design ties back to centuries of heraldic tradition and royal lineage, and as such, even a common coin, like the 1999 2-pence, becomes a miniature ambassador of British identity and history. Collectors may also be interested in the packaging and presentation options offered by the Royal Mint in 1999. Some 2-pence coins were included in annual coin sets, proof sets, and collector editions. These coins were struck to a higher standard of quality using polished dies and specially prepared blanks, resulting in mirror-like finishes and sharper details, which are highly prized among numismatists. To understand the context of the 1999 issue, we should consider the economic and political climate of the United Kingdom. In that year, the late 1990s were a period of modernization and transition for Britain, with New Labour under Prime Minister Tony Blair leading a campaign of reform and modernization across public services. The economy was relatively strong, and the country was enjoying a wave of optimism sometimes referred to as Cool Britannia. Although these broad national trends may seem distant from the minting of a 2-pence coin, they form the backdrop of the year in which it was made and help us appreciate the coin not only as a physical object, but as a marker of its time. When we compare the 1999 2-pence coin to other years, we find that its design remained consistent with the established standard, although changes to the metal composition minting process and mintage numbers provide some subtle differences. It was not until 2008 that a major redesign was implemented across the entire suite of UK coinage, replacing the heraldic reverse designs with a new series designed by Matthew Dent, in which the coins together form the royal shield. So the 1999 coin represents one of the final years of the traditional reverse before this modern change. From a numismatic perspective, the 1999 2-pence coin serves as an essential piece for anyone building a complete collection of decimal UK coins or focusing on the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Its accessibility means that nearly anyone can begin collecting with coins like this, and its longevity and familiarity in the public consciousness make it a beloved item among collectors and the general public alike. Furthermore, when we consider the 2 pence coin in a global context, it becomes clear that few other countries maintain such a connection between tradition and currency. The use of royal symbolism, Latin mottos, and consistent portraits of monarchs make British coins particularly rich in iconography and meaning, and this is exemplified beautifully by the 1999 2 pence coin. As we move toward the present day, the 1999 2 pence coin takes on new meaning with the passing of Queen Elizabeth II in 2022 coins. Bearing her image become historical artifacts, representing not only her reign, but an entire era of British life and governance. The 1999 coin is therefore more than a 26-year-old piece of currency. It is a window into the world as it was at the turn of the 21st century. Collectors may wish to preserve these coins in protective holders or albums to prevent damage and oxidation, as the copper plating on steel is prone to discoloration and corrosion over time, especially if exposed to moisture air or handling with bare hands. And for those who are serious about building a meaningful collection, the 1999 2 pence coin can be a foundational piece, one that ties into a broader narrative of British history, design, art, and national identity. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist, a casual collector, or just someone interested in the stories behind everyday objects, I hope this deep dive into the 1999 2 pence coin has sparked your interest and shown you how even a small coin can carry an immense legacy, and as always, stay tuned for more historical explorations, coin reviews, and collector insights right here on my channel. Let us continue to explore and uncover the history of coins from around the world and celebrate the art and heritage they represent, because every coin tells a story, and every story deserves to be told. Evolution, design, artistry, minting technology, and collector. Intrigue that stretches back more than a century. To truly understand the significance of the 1999 Lincoln penny, we must journey back to the early 20th century, to the year 1909, the centennial anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln XVI, President of the United States, and one of the most revered figures in American history. Prior to 1909. The U.S. 1 cent coin had featured a design known as the Indian head cent, which had been in circulation since 1859. But in 1909, President Theodore Roosevelt, inspired by the beauty of European coinage and driven by a desire to elevate the artistic quality of American money, commissioned sculptor Victor David Brenner to design a new penny that would honor the legacy of Lincoln, the first real person to appear on a regular issue U.S. coin. Victor David Brenner's design featured a right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a portrait based on a photograph taken by Anthony Berger at Matthew Brady's studio in 1864. The reverse originally featured 2 ears of Durham wheat, hence the name wheat penny or wheat cent, symbolizing America's agricultural heritage and resilience. This design was used from 1909 through 1958 and established the identity of the Lincoln cent as a staple of American change and commerce. In 1959, to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 50th anniversary of the Lincoln cent, the reverse design was changed from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial, located in Washington, D.C. The Lincoln Memorial reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro, added a powerful symbolic depth, not only preserving Lincoln's image on the obverse, but also placing him figuratively within the nation's seat of power, with his statue visible between the columns of the memorial. This design would remain in use until 2008, marking an incredible half-century of numismatic consistency and cultural reverence. Fast forward to 1999. The Lincoln Memorial reverse was still in use, and the penny remained the most common and widely circulated coin in the United States, but many changes had taken place in the intervening decades, affecting the metal content minting. widely circulated coin in the United States, but many changes had taken place in the intervening decades affecting the metal content minting process and cultural significance of the coin originally minted in 95% copper. The Lincoln cent underwent a major composition change in 1982 due to rising copper prices, shifting to a predominantly zinc composition with only a thin copper coating. The 1999 Lincoln penny, therefore, is struck on a planche made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, making it distinctly different in both weight and appearance from its earlier predecessors. The year 1999 was significant not just for the United States economy, which was nearing the end of a decade-long economic expansion, but also for the mint itself, which was in the final year before embarking on the massive 50-state quarters program that would begin in 2000. Although not marked by a new design, the 1999 penny carried the culmination of decades of American monetary evolution and minting technology. It was produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, as evidenced by the presence or absence of a mint mark under the date, with P mint pennies bearing no mint mark, and D mint pennies showing the letter D. What makes the 1999 Lincoln penny particularly intriguing to collectors and historians is the sheer volume of coins produced and the subtle variations and errors that arose during production. More than 5 billion 1999 Lincoln cents were struck by the Philadelphia Mint alone, and over 6 billion by the Denver Mint. But among these billions exist examples with doubled dies off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, and other mint errors that have drawn the attention of numismatists around the world. Some of these errors, such as the 1999 wide AM, coins. The 1999 wide AM is one of only 3 such varieties known, along with similar examples from 1998 and 2000, and has fetched significant premiums in the coin market depending on its condition. As we continue deeper into the story of the 1999 Lincoln penny, we begin to explore its place within the broader narrative of late 20th century American coinage, its role in daily life, its presence in the pockets of millions of Americans, and its often overlooked artistry and technical design. The sculpted features of Lincoln's face, the sharpness of the lettering, the precision of the minting, and the intricate details of the Lincoln Memorial all tell a story of craftsmanship and continuity in an era of rapid change. In examining the minting process behind the 1999 Lincoln cent, we also delve into the technological advancements that had taken place by the end of the century, the introduction of computer-assisted engraving, laser scanning, die production, and quality control measures had significantly improved the consistency and volume of coin production. Yet even with such advancements, the human element remained ever present, and mint errors continued to slip through, offering a unique glimpse into the imperfections that make collecting so fascinating. We will now shift our focus to collector interest and market value, highlighting how coins like the 1999 Lincoln penny, despite their common appearance, can become treasures to those who understand the nuances of variety, condition, and provenance in uncirculated condition, especially in mint state grades, such as MS-65, and higher. The 1999 penny holds moderate value. But when coupled with error varieties like the wide AM or double die obverse, the value can increase dramatically. For example, a 1999 wide AM in high grade can fetch hundreds of dollars and even more if certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Let us also explore the role that Lincoln pennies play in American culture, from childhood piggy banks to penny jars at gas stations, from coin rolls searched by hobbyists to symbolic gestures of good luck. The Lincoln cent is more than just currency. It is an enduring symbol of American values: thrift, honesty, leadership, and national pride. Abraham Lincoln's image serves as a constant reminder of the nation's resilience through civil war, economic turmoil, and social change, and the penny itself has become a miniature ambassador of that spirit. The legacy of the Lincoln cent would continue into the 21st century with the 2009 bicentennial anniversary of Lincoln's birth bringing 4 new reverse designs commemorating different stages of his life, followed by the shield cent design in 2010, yet the 1999 Lincoln penny stands at a critical transition point in this long legacy, capturing the final full year before the end of a design era and the beginning of a new millennium. As we draw closer to the end of this exploration, we reflect on the humble status of the penny, and how this most modest denomination carries with it stories that span more than 100 years. The 1999 Lincoln penny is a culmination of artistry, history, innovation, economy, and patriotism, and by studying its details, its varieties, its errors, its mint marks, and its composition, we gain not just knowledge of a coin but insight into the American story itself. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the 1999 Lincoln penny, and be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more detailed videos on the world of coins, rare varieties, errors, and fascinating numismatic history.